Good morning. Welcome to the PR show, man. So, basically, yesterday I made some posters and stuff like that about, just the first step on, creating a business, even if you don't have a business, even if you're just thinking about it, you just wanted to start something, like, you understand? You just wanted to be able to, actually, get your bank account and stuff like that and try to see if you get approved for like some credit lines, even if your business don't exist yet, you understand? Make you a ENI number, you understand? So once you get your ENI number and stuff like that, you get your ITN number, you get your Duns and Brad account number, you understand? And you use those to start building your credit when you go to open up a bank account. But we finna get taught into that because I'm gonna be busting on the steps. So you understand, it's just my shit just gonna take a little minute. You understand, but in 1 or 2 months I should be on track. But in the meantime, we finna vibe, we finna grow, cause there's all type of other shit that a young nigga like me do gotta get take care of. You understand? But I have a post coming tomorrow morning on what's not the first episode of the PR TV. You understand? I'm trying to make it into a way where it's more, you know, lifestyle, comedy, you know, just, me having, a daily experience, or interaction with other people other than myself. So yeah, I'll be giving y'all content about me, personally, on my blogs and stuff like that and everything. But, on the PRTV it's going to be about, my encounters, you understand? So I'm trying to see like exactly how I want to fit in YouTube, like how I want to come at YouTube, you understand? What I want to give YouTube, you understand? And what's not like that's the realization that I'm coming to now. It's like, how do I want to grow on YouTube? You understand? Like, what am I going to create? You understand? Am I going to be a shy person? You understand? Or am I going to be true to myself? You understand? And everything. So it's like, I realize I'm a person without any filters for real. So my character gotta match that. You understand? I can't show y'all anything different than what I know that I already am. You understand? So, from that point on, it's just about accepting it. You understand? And letting you accept me for who I am. You understand? And then after that, I can show you what I can do. You understand? So, that's what the Mescaline PR show is about. It's about, basically, me taking a little upper step and showing them what I could do, what I possibly could bring to the table. But again, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. I need to get my YouTube equipment and stuff like that to get set up and everything. And I'm building my channel up in the process. You know, I can get my YouTube equipment and stuff like that, but remember, it's just in time. Like I said, I'm moving fast. I'm moving fast, but to you, I might be moving slow. You understand? But everything is coming at me fast and stuff, and I'm trying to slow them down so that way, as I'm making these stuff grow, I'm making my whole environment grow. I just can't focus on paperwork. I gotta make sure. See, me when I make my money, this one I gotta, you know, get a little nicey with you with, but I'm gonna try to speak English. So me, I gotta focus on everything. Number one, I own a crib. Always make sure your anchor, your crib, your host is your anchor. You understand? So I gotta pay for my crib. You understand? That's 1,200. Then what's next? I need food. You understand? I probably need to buy little essentials, cleaning products and stuff like that. And what if I just move into my apartment, which in my case I just did. So I need to get a little stuff so that way I could customize my apartment in a way where, stuff don't look all over the place. You understand? Stuff don't look willy nilly. You understand? I have shelves, so it's not to put my shoes. I got my little artworks and stuff like that. Put some little LED strips. None of those don't cost a lot of money, bro. So people who sitting here saying like, oh, they make money but they can't afford to do nothing, bro. You're putting all, bro. Growing up, old little people used to tell me from since I was a kid, never put all your eggs in one basket. That's what they always said when I was a kid. When you grow up, never put all your eggs in one basket, young man. I used to be like, I thought they was talking about Easter hunting. You understand? Because at that point, I was Easter hunting, trying to pick up, the Easter eggs that had some gifts in it. And then, it was like, never put all your eggs in one basket, young man. You understand? So when I grew up, I ended up being like, damn. They right. They really are right. You understand some shit. When you get money, you can't just put it all in one thing because it's like, bro, yes, you need this one thing to happen, but you need other things to happen so that way you're reassuring yourself that you're creating. Your environment is changing. It's uplifting. You understand? It's not the same as it was before. So that's why it's like, yeah. Boom. You understand? Doing the crib. Then after that, I got paperwork now. You understand? Now, I gotta put some type of paperwork and stuff like that in order. You understand? So boom, I'm be doing that now. Once I put my paperwork and stuff like that in order, and after that, I gotta go outside of there and make sure that I have I have money saved and stuff like that was not for the next adventure or if I could start the next adventure. I got a whole book. I got a whole book. I'm gonna show you my book probably in my next video, but I got a whole book of the King's Journal. You understand? So basically in the book, you understand, it basically what you do is first step. You understand? My own the way that I target my goals and stuff like that now are way different than when I first started. You understand? It's way more detailed, way more structured. Like, you understand? So everything about me is about structure. You understand? I was not like, yeah, boom, a nigga hit trees or some shit. But when I get paid, I basically only spend about $10, cuz. You understand? On some trees. You understand? That's just that. You won't see my ass again. But yeah, like, you understand? Like, yeah, I use it to meditate and get creative. Boom, alright. Yeah, but at the end of the day, I don't rely, you understand, like, solely on getting it, achieving it and stuff, But everybody got their, bad habit. That's just mine. You understand? I don't drink and party, but you understand? I do dabble. But hey, this book that I got. First, you write down every single goal you want. I need. You understand? Write it all down. Your medical bills, the debts you owe. You understand? Write it all down. The credit line that's probably closed, but they asking you for money and stuff like that. Write it all down. Every single dollar you owe the city, my nigga. And the system. Just write down every single thing. You understand? And what's not. And then as you write that down, you understand, you write down all the goals you want and stuff like that. Write down all of your medical goals too. You understand? Stuff that you want to do for yourself. You understand? Now you've been saying, you know what? I needed to do a surgery for this and that. You understand? Wrote that down, then write down, how much those cost. You understand? If you know the price or not. But if not, alright. So you understand now when you write it down or some shit. When you write it down, you go there and you write down what stuff you need to target first. Now you wrote down the stuff that you want and stuff at school, college, business, this and that, like everything, clothes. And it's not now you wrote down everything. Now write how you finna get it. How you wrote down everything, but you ain't write how you finna get it. You think it's just about you just write down your goals and because you remember, that means you can get it. Now remember when you start it, you're gonna forget because at the end of the day, once you start something, you understand you get involved in that at that moment. You understand? So these other goals won't be lurking in the brain. You catch on? So that's why I saying, you understand, in order to save the memory, just in case you targeting these goals, right? Or you in process of doing one of these goals, right? And you say, man, I need to refresh it, but I know it's something else. Like, you got excess money now, but then you're like, damn, something else I gotta go and do, but I just don't remember what I gotta do. Now, you understand? Because at that point, you say, I just knuckled this goal, but, I get excess money to start something else. I just can't remember what project to invest it on. You understand? You probably got 3, 4 projects that you can use this money on. But which project that can uplift you in the way that your other project just did? You understand? Because sometimes you don't want to invest your money in a project that you was going to start, you understand, later on in the future. You understand? After you got these other 3 projects. You understand? That's why I say it's like, it's a way you pick what you're gonna invest in when you have the money instead of, just trying to invest in all of them and stuff like that. You understand? Sometimes you could if it's flexible. You understand? But if you're managing, you understand? It's all about a project at a time for real because it's like, bro, if you gotta pay 1,000 to get this project in and then that project finished with, alright, you understand? But I ain't saying, oh, every 4 months you gotta pay for these 4 projects. Nah, you understand? So that's why I say there's different ways you can go about it. But boom, you write down how you wanna get to those goals. You understand? You basically be like, alright, boom. College, you understand? Now you write down what college gonna ask you when you go there. Because remember this, when you go to a bank, they gonna ask you certain type of questions, certain type of documents and stuff like that. You understand? Now you go there, you write down, all right, boom. When I go to school, I know they're gonna hit me for a transcript. You understand? They're gonna ask me back out of the diploma. You understand? They're gonna ask me basically if I wanna apply for a loan, you understand? And then second off, you understand, depending on what my grades look like around that time, means how I gonna get inside of the loan, you understand? And then, ways around it, ways through it, you understand? You start thinking, you understand now. When you start thinking about ways around it, ways through it, you know what that means? The money. Your money. It start talking to you. Yeah, your money can get you in. Your money. So now it's like bills. You understand? Getting in school is a bill. That concept will hit you and then it'll be like, damn, could I really get in? Or could I really be approved? Now you gotta be like, what if I don't get approved? You understand? How can I get in? You understand? So now what I'm doing is it's like, basically it's like you get all of the required IDs and stuff like that you need to get into school. Getting into school is easy. If you gotta do a GED, go with GED. You understand? It's not just to get the ID and stuff like that. And that number can help you out. You understand? So boom, you just go there, you get in school, do that. Then once you get your GED, you start working on your not high school, your college entrance, whatever trade that you want to get in. You understand? Even if you know it's impossible, you still get into your GED if you don't have one. If you do, amazing. Now work on getting into your college. You understand? So like I said, you go there, you apply for a trade or some stuff that they are most likely to give to young black people, young white people, of all races. so you go there and, you once you find that trade, that money making trade, you understand? I was not nah, you understand that money making trade. You as a young individual, that trade that okay, this type of money that you're making, you won't care if you have a business or not. You understand? So you go inside of that type of trade. That's the pinnacle of your success. Like you gotta go to the pinnacle of your success. You understand? The pinnacle. And when you are there, or once you're chasing that, now you're also chasing your business too. You understand? Now that's your gateway. You understand? If it takes off, it takes off. But if not, my nigga, you understand, or some shit, you're gonna be happy with the pinnacle. You understand? That's enough money. You understand? So that's why, I'm like, okay, like that's how I'm chasing it. So it's like I gotta target both angles. So it doesn't mean I gotta flow. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like a nigga can't be moving like, flash and like nah, like, you gotta first you gotta one. I'm doing YouTube now. Yes, and as you can see, I'm posting content every day, and I got weekly TV shows coming in. So from the Miscalin TV show page, you will be seeing premiere coming true every week on the PR TV show. You can also find it on King Miscalin on YouTube, .com. The link will be inside the description. But like I said, my goal is just to, you know, um, elevate myself with my income. You understand? Which I'm already doing. It's not I rather invest every dollar into uplifting me. You understand? And before I could go spend it on my friends and this and that and partying and my people. You understand? Or what's on their projects or whatever. I need to invest it into myself. So, everybody has a young age. My parents then used to tell me like, hey, what are you doing with your money? Oh, you understand? When you get paid, what do you do with it? You understand? This and that and what's not. So this is why, like, this is like my proof to myself. So I seen what I do with my bread. Like, you understand? Like right now, just to get inside of my crib that I just got. Remember, I understand the crib that I just got because I just left paying for a hotel for 2 months, and now because the hotel was £2 a month, and a little bit over. You understand, but um now I'm inside my crib, which is 1,200. So you know how much more bread I'm saving now if I was paying that amount of money. That's why I say it's like now it's about time for the production. But the 1,200 that I paid, you understand, was the amount of bread I muster every like 2 weeks. I get paid weekly, but every 2 weeks, that right there, you understand? That's my pinnacle right there. So I know every 2 weeks in a month I'm there. So I use that to get into this. You understand? I was not. Now I'm done. I'm dry broke. You understand? I'm gone. Pocket flat. You understand? It's not enough. You understand? But I'm making at least better than you understand, the ordinary right now. It's just a regular gig that everybody push for. You understand? And some stuff, 2 jobs. You understand? So that's why it's like, all right, boom. You understand? I got in now. It's like it's a lift off my back, but it's like, damn, nah, nigga gotta go eat. You understand? They gotta get some food. They gotta put gas. They gotta wash clothes. Niggas gotta get hangers to put their clothes up. Nigga can't do that. No bread. You understand? No money. You understand? So I'm like, all right, boom, I'm in. You understand? Some shit. I was supposed to show you all the process of me getting in, but I was a little hesitant on starting YouTube right now. I didn't want, you understand, really, you understand, get in. Like, as I'm getting in right now, trying to show, my YouTube has been about telling you all about my journey, my process, and stuff like that, so that way other people could achieve it too. But I wanted to wait till I get in, because, you understand, before I did that, because I needed to feel that change myself, you understand? So, it's all about a dopamine thing, you understand? It's definitely like a dopamine thing that's happening. So, um, really, 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 pay attention to what irritates you. You understand? What irritates you, what demotivates you. You understand? Interests that you want to get in, that you know that a lot of people take your time. Like, you understand? Like, talking wise, even if that's your family, you're close with them or it's not. If you conversate to a lot of people on a daily basis, imagine if everybody takes 3 minutes of your time, right? And you give that to 10 people. That's over 30 minutes. You understand? Now, imagine you go to work and you got to talk to every customer in that 8 hours. You're giving away your time. So why not give away your time on doing stuff that could really take you into greater heights? So live true. You understand? Like I said, if something irritates you, do not be afraid to speak your truth. It's not, or realize it to yourself that, hey, even if you don't want to, tell this person not, just back away. You understand? Nah, you never said, you gotta cut these people off, but back away if you know that you're easy influence. You understand? To spend a lot of time. You understand, with others. Back away from the situation until you could control your time. You understand? Because now you want to make money. Now you realize your time is money. You understand? And you need to own your time. So now you need to go inside and stay with yourself. The same amount of time that you would spend with them. You understand? Spend that time on yourself for 1, 2, 3 days. Just sit home by yourself. Don't text nobody. Don't call. None of that. Like, just sit by yourself and think, bro. Just think. Close your phone, right? Close your phone and put it right there. Turn it off. And then this is what I want you to do. I want you to picture this with me. Picture this with me. Let me see. So this is what I want you to do. Once that phone is off, right? I want you to look around you. Look behind you. Look in front of you. You understand? Look next to you. Who you see? Nobody. Look at a mirror. Grab your phone now. Don't turn it on, but look at the reflection. You see anybody else in there but you? You understand? Now, I want you to think and be like, I'm really here alone. But my life ain't bad, and then judge from where your life is right now. Are you living comfortably or are you not? You understand? Now, if it's something that that doesn't bother you and you kind of appreciate where you're at right now, you understand? Then that means you're one step ahead of the game. You understand? But if you're not, that means, do you want to start your game today? You understand? Remember this, life is like a check game and you're the pieces on the board. So how does you want to move? If everybody is a king, right? You understand? And you have your own kingdom within. You understand? What type of king are you? Are you are your soldiers and your peoples respecting, loving you, and uplifting you every day? Are they showing you honor, love, and manners, and talking to you sincere? No, or do people treat you any type of way that they want? They talk to you any type of way that they want. You understand? Matter of fact, they take you and what you do for granted and argue about it later and ask for more. You understand? Now, if it's any one of those, you know, I just want you to be like, all right, why not start a business? Why not start doing something? Why not start chasing something? You understand? For you, if you realize, but then it's like, oh, I gotta chill with this person later. I gotta do this. I gotta meet it with this. Oh, I want to be a rapper, so of course I gotta meet other people. Nah, if you want to be a rapper, why you just didn't start rapping on YouTube? If your bar is really that good, you supposed to be about growth and making sure that when you do go to them, to that producer label or anything like that, Your flow's already down pat. You already have verses online. You already keen to him with, like your subscribers. Like you been hustling for your subscribers, and what's not just trying to, get up. Like you already keen to him made. You understand? Not going to them being like, I have a voice and I just hope you could believe me. Nah, go to them and be like, I have a voice and I believe in myself. You understand? And I got my background to show it. You understand? So now, you ain't really got to be in the YouTube for the talking or whatever, so and so. But you could have gone in there, chat up a little bit, and be like, yo, my name is I was not trying to be a rapper. You understand? Like me, right now, I'm just starting in the game. But I got a few bars I just want to be spitting with y'all on every day. You understand? Every week that I, made a bar or whatever. You understand? I'm going to come true and I'm going to spit. You understand? What's not? YouTube and stuff like that don't allow other music or, beats or whatever. So now, whilst you also going to have to get your setup to get reeling it for the music or whatever, you understand? You can also use that scene setup to, you understand, help your page, you understand? You gotta hit it from both angles, so that way you could have been able to mix your own beats, make your own beats, you understand, instead of just freestyling off the flip. But the fact that you've been freestyling off the flip, I guarantee you, what's not your voice, your rhymes and all that gonna be better, because people are actually hearing your words, you understand, not the beat. So if they fall in love with just your words, my nigga, fuck the beat. You understand? When you on the beat, you understand, bro? Listen, cuz that's just some Florida faucet right there. Yeah, let it rain. But anyways, stay tuned again for another content. Yeah, so my name is King. It's nice to meet you. I gotta go get a little work with him, but we gonna chat again for sure.